I love the stories of your life in Wales. And there was another time you went back to like a school that you used to go to, and you did a talk about being an influencer.
Yeah.
And then they were like, the only question you get when you're an influencer is, how much money do you make? Money, blah, blah. They don't care about the passion, the voice acting, the film. How much money? And you were like, more than all of you in this room combined. Or something like that. You told me that story.
These kids wouldn't stop asking me how much money I made, and I got so annoyed with it. I was like, I said I make more money than all of your parents combined.
Which is an exaggeration.
Which is an exaggeration, chat. It is. They believed me, and the teachers, I think they were like half thought it was just insane that I said that, and half of them, I think half of them believed me. Like, don't get me wrong, I make a lot more than I think this job deserves. But it was not more than like that amount. That's crazy. Right. Yeah. I think half the teachers were like, "What?"
The exploits. You should write a book. I would buy it.
You can just say because our job is so weird. It's so unusual.
Your job's slightly different from mine. You're like a big streamer man. Yeah, I sit in my room like hunched over, hitting a keyboard, editing like an idiot all day. While you were like, oh, we're gonna play a game, Jump King or something I don't know. And
people don't know anything about it. All they know is that they know when they see these big influencers, they just see them flexing money. So I think they just right. A lot of people don't understand a lot of how it works, especially if you're not in chat right now. You probably know quite a bit about it, but I think if you're just like a 50-year-old man from North Wales, it's the most foreign-sounding thing of all time.
When I was in, it is, and also there's an age thing there with being an influencer. Like when I was in, I went to this little onsen near Kyoto back last year, before Wacky Weekend. And I was travelling around. There was a 55-year-old British couple. Okay. I was a rough estimate, 55 to 60.
Okay.
And he was like, "What? I'm lost. I don't want to go." What? He was kind of racist as well. he was from your neck of the woods. He was from the north side.
Oh, fuck off. And he's probably English. He must have English.
We went to somewhere like Kidasaki or something, innit? And and I was like, cool. And he's like, do you know your way around here? I'm like, yeah, I've lived here a few years. He's like, what do you do for a job then, lad? And I was like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. And he's like, I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. And then we talked a little bit more about his trip and where he was going. I gave him some advice. And then I think to try and show that I did something more than just YouTube, which he was like, thought wasn't a real job, just sit in your bedroom. I was like, I also wrote like a book. It did quite well. It was about Japan. He was like, no, it's not this book right here, is it? And he pulled it out of his sack.
Your book.
He just pulled the book out.
No,
that's the one, isn't it? And he's like, oh my God, you're a real boy with a real job. Margaret, get over here. And he's like, why? He bumbled over and he's like, look, this man's a Sunday Times bestseller. He's a real boy. And then he
did not say he's a Sunday Times bestseller.
He did say that.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He actually did.
No, he didn't.
To people over 50, it matters. And he flipped on a dime. He was like, oh my God, this is cool. And he got like a photo. He made stop someone in the street to take a photo together. And it was just like from scumbag YouTuber to esteemed author, just by a few sentences. It really does matter. So.
It's weird. I think people just.
But now stream is the new cool thing. YouTube's boring to young people. Streaming's all. And I read or I saw today that people in Japan want to be a VTuber now, as opposed to a YouTuber.
Yeah, VTubers are very popular.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to a couple of bars where I'll just sit down, and I went to one with Pete, maybe it was last year, maybe 5-6 months ago. Sat down in this bar, 4 people, all of them were VTubers. And most of them were middle-aged.
Do they know you?
No, they were very small. All of them were very small, but they were all just I asked them, what do you do? And they were like, VTubers. And this one guy showed me his thing. He was this 40-year-old Japanese man. And his VTuber was for the lack of better words, a twink. And he put on this really high-pitched voice, and he was just playing really sexual games in Japanese. Yeah, and then he's there smoking and drinking highballs. But his character looked like a 20-year-old anime boy.
Oh my God.
Like that, and it was crazy.
I remember there was a VTuber maybe 2 years ago who was this hot kind of girl on screen, but then it suddenly stopped for a moment. It turned out to be like a 50-year-old man.
Good evening,